Hi everybody, this is Boog Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new Marvel Legends Target exclusive X-Factor Jean Grey figure. So before we take a look at Jean Grey, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, she comes with a set of open hands. And I really wish Hasbro would ditch this right hand for female figures. I think there's also a matching left hand. But yeah, I just don't like that one. I think this one looks so much better than this one. Hopefully Hasbro gives us some new female hands for female figures in the future. Up next, she comes with her masked head sculpt. This is the angry head. And man, the sculpt and paintwork on this, or the print work I should say, looks amazing. It looks really good. I've said it before in previous videos, but Hasbro has improved their print tech so much since they first introduced it. I feel like the details like the eyes and the teeth on this figure are almost lifelike. I think the print tech is perfect on this figure. You also get some wonderful sculpt detail to the hair. I like how it looks like it's blowing. That looks really good. And the details are brought out really nicely by the darker head variation you get there. That variation in the hair just makes the details really pop. This is a very cool looking head sculpt. Up next, she comes with an alternate head sculpt. I said on the previous head sculpt that it was masked. Technically, both heads are masked. This one just has less covering up the head right here so you can see all the hair. But just like with the previous head sculpt, the hair is sculpted so well. Like, that looks really, really good. And as I said, the variation in that brings the details out really nicely. The one weird thing on mine is you get holes in between the strands on this head sculpt. You can see a hole right there, up here. Not sure why they're like little tiny holes in between the sculpted strands of hair. But other than that, I think this head sculpt looks really good. And just like with the previous one, the face print tech looks really awesome. That's kind of a lifelike head sculpt for a comic figure. That just looks really awesome. And finally, she comes with this telekinesis effect. You just kind of slide it underneath this strand of hair right here. Doesn't quite sit flush to the head, which does irk me a little bit. But if you're looking at it straight on, it looks really good. I was really trying to figure out how this was going to stay on the figure's head. But yeah, there's a little tiny piece right here, and you just tuck it underneath this strand of hair right here. It's a bit tricky to get it lined up just right, but once you do, it'll stay in place. And it actually stays in place really well. I was really afraid that it would fall out, but yeah, it's a pretty secure fit, and that looks really awesome on there. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. So taking a look at the rest of this figure, Jean Grey uses the new female body mold. I believe it was Phoenix, the new Phoenix, that first used these parts. And this is articulated really nicely. I think it looks really good. The colors really pop on this in person. I figured they would, but the colors just really look nice in person. The one bad thing about this, though, is a lot of the paint details on the yellow aren't that great. Like right here on the hips. Let me get my camera to focus in. You can see where there's some green showing through. The line isn't clean. You can see some more green showing through on the edges up here, as well as it being spotty. And there's like a texturing on mine. I don't know if you can see it right here, but the paint looks like it's caked on. I think that's the issue. They put way too much on there. But yeah, they caked it on. And there's some chips in mine. Right here on her torso joint, you get some scuffage. So that sucks. You can see where this plastic has been scuffed up from moving it. Another thing is right here, mine is split. It's not splitting when I'm moving it. It came like that out of the package. That does suck. Down here, it's glued together. I'm not sure why it came apart like that. My figure was extremely gummy from being in the heat when I received it, so maybe the heat made it pop apart right here. I don't know, but that is unfortunate. And the biggest sin on this figure is not having the yellow boots. Even on the packaging art, she has the boots. I'm not actually sure why they didn't put the boots on this figure. I'm sure if you're a customizer, it'd probably be easy enough to put some boots on there or just paint some boots on, but it should have came that way. I'm really disappointed that she didn't come with those yellow boots. I know I do have my complaints with this figure, but I still think it's really nice. I honestly think the paint in this joint right here issue, I think that's just something that's probably on mine. The boots issue is of course on every figure, but I think the paint issues just come down to quality control issues with this specific figure I got. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. So she has a ball hinge neck with the long hair head sculpt on. She can't look back at all. She can look down all the way. She can look to the left just a little bit, and to the right just a little bit. With the alternate head sculpt on, she can look up just about all the way. She can look down all the way. She can move her head side to side very nicely, and all the way around. She has shoulders that can move out all the way. Really nice butterfly joints. Swivel at the bicep that can move side to side. Double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrist swivels that move up and down and spin all the way around, a ball jointed diaphragm and ab crunch that can move back all the way. She can crunch forward all the way, but I do wish the diaphragm joint would have allowed for a little more movement. She can move side to side very slightly. This joint here feels really stiff. Of course it doesn't move down at all, and it doesn't really move around. So yeah, the articulation up in here is pretty hindered. She has hips that can only move out that far. I do wish on this new mold they would cut little notches in the hip joints. That way the figure could do a complete split. She can kick forward all the way. She can't really kick back at all. She has a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees that can move all the way in, ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and a nice ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up here she is next to X Factor Cyclops from the recent Nemesis Build-A-Figure, and man, she looks really cool next to him. I'm glad to finally have these particular looks for Jean Grey and Cyclops. Here she is next to the Deluxe Angel figure, and even though the looks aren't 100% accurate to what he has in the comic, this is definitely the figure that I'm going to be using in my X Factor display. Here she is next to Beast and Iceman, and we really need a 2-pack of them. Beast in his outfit from the comic, that blue and red outfit, and then a translucent Iceman. I think an actual translucent Iceman would look really cool. This figure right here was done, I feel like it was like a shimmery silver type color, and then the one in the Spider-Man His Amazing Friends pack, I think it was just a solid white color. So yeah, we definitely need a new Iceman that's actually just straight up translucent plastic. And a Beast for this run. I think a 2-pack of Beast and Iceman would be really cool. And finally, here she is next to the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. So overall, despite the complaints that I had with this figure, I still like it for the most part. You know, it does have its flaws, but just because it has its flaws doesn't necessarily mean it's a horrible figure. I think the body mold is really nice and it's articulated pretty nicely, and I think where this figure shines the most are the head sculpts. I think the head sculpts look really good. The sculpt of the hair is very nice, you get some really nice variation over top of it, and on both of the head sculpts, the printed on details look almost flawless. I think the head sculpts really stand out on this figure once you have it in hand. So yeah, the figure does have its issues, but as I said, I think the pros outweigh the cons on this. So I'd still recommend picking it up if you can find it. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.